If your friends are not inviting you out to brunch this weekend, let them. If the person that you're really attracted to is not interested in a commitment, let them. If your kids don't want to get up and go to that thing you did this weekend, let them. Hilarious. I had the dog gate up and they pushed through it, and I'm just going to let them stay here. Let them. If your kids do not want to get up and go to that thing with you this week, let them. So much time and energy is wasted on forcing other people to match our expectations. And the truth is, if somebody else, a person you're dating, a business partner, a family member, if they're not showing up how you need them to show up, do not try and force them to change. Let them be themselves because they're revealing who they are to you. Just let them, and then you get to choose what to do next. Before we get into this Kindle and this book, Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, just wanted to update you guys with where I've been since it's been over a month since I've vlogged and picked up the camera. Yeah, nothing too scandalous or dramatic here. It's just I have lost time and I've been really busy. And I hate to say that because I feel like I've been saying that a lot. It's a little bit of an excuse, but it is also very much true. To give you guys an example of March, today is actually April 1st, by the way. In the month of March, I wrapped up my last 2 videos yesterday, and I created a total of 26 short form content videos for different brands. That's a lot of videos to do in a month. And again, I hate to say I haven't vlogged because I'm busy, but that's the truth. And I wish I just had more time in the day to be able to pick up the camera and go, but also energy as well. So yeah, that's sort of where I've been. Aside from work, a lot of personal stuff has happened too. All good things, just life events with family, friends. And so I had to reserve some time for that. And then just thinking of picking up the camera just to pick up didn't make sense to me. So, I just went with it and I took the break, and it was unintended, but I will say it was much needed because I have a newfound vision, or not vision. I have more clarity about this channel because I have missed you guys so much. I have missed doing content for my own brand. If you guys are new to the channel, I lost my job back in January, went on my content creation journey and tried that out for almost a year, which was great, but wasn't making a ton of money with my own brand. So I had to really rely on my UGC work with other brands. Picked up a part-time job with the Bitman projects. I've been doing a lot of cooking videos with them. If you guys follow me on Instagram. Also, if you're not following me, think about it if you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, because through the month of March, I did post quite a lot on stories just to, update you guys and just share what I've been going through in a more simple format. But yeah, so I'll leave my Instagram right here if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, it's pretty fun over there. You guys can reply to my stories and I always try to comment back. That's really where I've been. So yeah, anyways, I ended up picking up a Kindle, and I didn't ever see myself as someone who would read via a Kindle, and I had nothing against Kindles and e-readers. I was just always with that mindset of, if I'm going to spend X amount of money on a book, I want the physical copy. But as I found out, trying to be in my reading era, I'll buy a book, I'll read maybe a quarter to a half of it, and I'll forget to pick it up. And it's just one of those things where out of sight, out of mind. I don't know. I think too, I've changed, and I have to acknowledge that I've changed in that I am so used to reading from a screen because, hello, phones, the computer. My mind, for some reason, can't get stuck on a book and read for more than like 10 minutes. I get sleepy, I get tired, my mind drifts. And so I found that the physical books I wasn't really getting into until I finally caved in and picked up the Kindle. This is the 2024 Paperwhite Signature Edition, and it's been amazing. I also held off a little bit because e-readers typically have been so slow, and this one is finally up to par in terms of speed. And so when you're changing the pages, there's no delay, there's no lag. So I have really been enjoying on this. And the book that I am currently reading now is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, which in the beginning of the video is one of the passages I read from this book. The Let Them Theory is kind of bringing me into a full circle moment with my journey from having lost my dad to COVID till today, and doing that healing and inner work, and really just my outlook in life in general. And if you guys have been with me for a while, you know that in a lot of my videos at the end, I say try to choose happy over sad. I really do mean that, and I've talked about this quite a few times on my channel of why I say it and how it stems from my dad. Me saying that happy over sad is literally the let them theory. It's me giving up control of what other people think, do, and feel, and releasing that and just focusing on myself. So before we dive deeper into it, because I do want to have like a little sit down chat with you guys, because I feel like it's been a while. So I feel like my first video back, let's just catch up, let's talk, and let's get a little bit deep. But again, before that, I do want to give you a little backstory of Mel Robbins, because I think it's important to know sort of how she came about, because like many of us, she was rock bottom at one point in her life. When she was 41, she lost her job. She was in $800,000 of debt, which I can't even imagine how that feels. Her husband at the time also was having a failed restaurant business. She had kids she needed to take care of, a mortgage to pay, and bills were stacking. So she was at the lowest of her lows, in her own words. I don't want to say depression because I forget if she categorized herself being depressed, but she had all the classic signs of it. Can't get out of bed, doing the simplest things were hard. And so she would spend hours and hours in bed trying to get up, and she just couldn't. She was in bed one day and she was watching a rocket launch. So if you know anything about rocket launches, they basically do a countdown from 10, and once they hit 1, all systems a go. And when you're doing that countdown, there's no really stopping it, right? There's not like a 5, 4, stop. Like, no, that rocket's gonna go with or without you. All systems are a go. I had this silly idea. I don't know where it came from, but she was like, I'm just gonna count down from 5 and then I'm gonna get up. So she said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then she got up. The physical response for her body was just to get up. And then she just went with it. And so that's what she started to do with every little aspects of her life, with things that were hard to do. So like paying her bills, she would count down from 5, go tackle that. And so later she coined this as her 5-second rule, but she just kept doing it with everything in everyday life. One day, her friend asked her to do a seminar slash speech slash presentation with a live audience over in New York. So she ends up going, and at the end of her presentation, she just completely blanked because she was so nervous throughout the whole thing. And she literally just forgot her outro. So she decided, you know what, she's just going to blurt out her 5-second rule. So she talked about the whole 5-second rule and how she's been using that. And she was even saying how she blurted out her email in case anyone had questions. And that was it. They wrapped, she went home and heard nothing of that interview. Turns out, a year later, that video is posted online to the series of what we know now is the TEDx series. They posted the video online a year later and it started to blow up, and she started getting all these emails about how the 5-second rule is helping them, from normal people, from psychiatrists, from doctors, from high-level executives, just a range of people. And she was just like, whoa, what is going on here? And from there, the trajectory of her life changed. That's sort of how she started. So to think at 41, lowest of lows, almost $1 million in debt, husband's failing business, she went from that to being one of the top listened podcasts in the world. That should give you guys a sign that it's never over, and the smallest decision in your life could change the trajectory of it. So yeah, and the reason why I kind of fell into this book, even though I knew about the Let Them theory, I saw her post about it on social media a while ago. The 5-second rule is actually what I remembered, and I used it because, like I said in the beginning, I've been just so busy, right? There were so many days where I didn't want to get up because I knew getting up meant I would have to start the workday. And the thing about content and creating content for brands and being on camera is you have to feel good. You have to feel good about yourself. You have to feel prepared. You have to not feel grumpy or annoyed or irritated because it will show on camera. So I used the 5-second rule to get out of bed because a lot of times I was just doom scrolling for 2-3 hours. I'm an early riser. I will wake up 4-5 a.m. and there were a lot of times where I didn't get up till like 7-8 a.m. because I knew I had to film. And in the middle of March was like, you know what? I remembered that 5-second rule. So I stopped doom scrolling. Then I would count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get up and start my day. So that's been really useful. And that kind of brought me back to Mel Robbins and the Let Them theory. That brings me to how I have been doing the Let Them theory for years now. I basically had my own version of the Let Them theory. If you guys have been with me for a while, again, at the end of my videos, I do say try to choose happy over sad. It's very much similar in terms of the Let Them theory because I'm choosing happy, meaning I'm choosing to let a lot of things go because it doesn't involve me. You know, I don't need to take on that negative energy or that toxicity. A lot of times when I do talk about saying try to choose happy over sad, I always relate it to like road rage because I feel like that's like the most easy example to share with you guys. So, let's just say you're heading to work or cafe or meet up with friends or whatever, and some guy cuts you off. You can choose to be so annoyed, so pissed, have road rage, honk at them, or you could also choose to just let them, right? Which I wasn't saying let them, but now I'm saying let them. You can choose happy, and you could choose to not let them dictate how you feel based on their actions. You could choose to acknowledge that what they're going through has no bearing in what you're feeling and what you're doing in your life. Maybe they had a tragedy. Maybe they're not even looking at you and they accidentally cut you off. Or maybe they're just assholes and they're going to cut you off because you're going slow. At the end of the day, none of that matters because what they're going through in their life is out of your hands. Nothing you can change. I also wanted to share how I went about this whole saying of choosing happy over sad, because when my dad died from COVID, obviously was in a similar funk and situation as Mel. Different, but similar, and it was hard for me to get out of bed, do things for a while, and it wasn't until I started to just force myself to go out in nature, go for walks, hikes, and one day I was in a mountain, hiking by myself, having my little inner monologues, listening to grief podcasts. I was on that mountain. I decided then and there that I was going to choose happy. I don't know how that came about. I just said, you know what? Today, I'm going to be happy. And that little moment changed the trajectory of my life the same way it did with Mel when she did the whole 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. A little different in terms of where we are at now. But I mean, it did. That simple thought in my head and choosing to be happy that day really changed my outlook. Quick story about my dad too is he is the kindest, most patient person that I know or that I have known in my entire life. When he passed, I was 39, but in the 39 years of knowing him and being with him, he has only yelled and been mad at me once. I'm sure he was mad, disappointed, angry at me many times in his life, but he just never really showed it until one day, the only time he yelled at me and my brother were teens, we were fighting in the kitchen as brothers do, maybe a little bit more because we low-key kind of hated each other, but we were just going at it. And so my dad finally had it up to here with us and he yelled. He opened the drawer, handed us knives and was like, go at it. And that was like the first time I swear he yelled at me. And so me and my brother were like, well, what the fuck? We're not going to stab each other. And so that was a turning point in me and my brother's life and our relationship. So when I was up on that mountain and I decided to choose happy, I related it to my dad because he was the kindest person I knew. And it was almost like, okay, I need to be reminded about my dad often. So I started to wear his ring, and anytime I would feel annoyed, irritated, or just off, I would rub that ring just to remind me to choose happy, remind me to let them. And so for about, I want to say almost 6 months, I wore that ring. And so yeah, I'm in this full circle moment now of having all of this make sense. Like Mel Robbins, you just literally validated my healing for me, and my slogan of saying choose happy over sad. It's just crazy to think that sometimes everything sort of has a meaning and will make sense later in life, even though it doesn't make sense at that time. And so here we are, full circle moment. I am reading a book that has been sort of my mantra for the last how many years, and it takes me back to my dad and just what he taught me inadvertently, and it's kind of amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to share that and also let you guys know I'm back. Whatever that means. Hopefully I'll find the time more to vlog because I do miss it. This is literally what I love to do and I miss you guys. But anyways, I hope you guys got a little bit something out of this video, whether it's the 5-second rule, whether it's let them, or whether it's choosing happy over sad, because I really do believe we all deserve to be happy. This world is just so full of madness and anger. And anyways, now I feel a little bit weird saying my outro because I just talked about it in this video, but we're going to do it. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you can, try to choose happy over sad today, and I'll catch you in the next one.